Well, to me, from the outside looking in, it's like one of those situations where, okay, yeah, y'all niggas not really friends. And I think one side, I don't know if there's some sort of benefit from people thinking that y'all are friends. You know? I think the biggest point of all of their careers, I mean, you know, Cam may go on to touch higher heights with It Is What It Is, and you never know what Jim's got planned for the future, but the pinnacle for all of them is Dipset. So it's like the Beatles, you know. People asking like what was really going on.
I don't think you compare those two because the Beatles came out as a group, and then later on, various members had good solo projects like John Lennon and Paul McCartney. Whereas,
but John, hold on, let's slow it down because John was the guy.
Well, him and Paul McCartney
and John kind of
there was two guys.
He was like,
there was two guys.
I'm not fucking with y'all.
Yeah.
You know, this is John on his own.
Yes.
I done left these guys in the smoke.
He broke up the group. Right. I got it. But what I'm saying with Cameron came out first and got hot first and then introduced you to Dipset. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
He was a solo star already. That album on Rockefeller was, Take Me Home, I think, was a monster with Oh Boy and everything else like that. And he introduced Dipset to you with that platform.
Right.
But Cam was already a star on his own. It's not like Dipset came, it was like Wu-Tang. You know what I'm saying? Where Wu-Tang came out and then later on, you got to know the members later on. Right. And you got to pick your favorite. No, it was Cam first. He introduced Dipset. And really hats off to Cam because I feel he's one of the few hip-hop CEOs that's able to not hog the spotlight to himself all the time.
Right.
He really, and I've seen it happen with Vado. I've seen him do shows where he'll let Vado rap the whole time. He would just take a step back and let Vado do his thing. Like, not a lot of people could do that. Like, people like Busta Rhymes have always, I think, had problems because they always wanted the spotlight. It's hard for them to push other artists to become bigger than them. You see what I'm saying? Akon is another one who's done that pretty well.
Right.
T-Pain, that came from Akon. Right. Lady Gaga came from Akon. Like,
right.
Cam, I think, has always been good at saying, okay, I'm going to throw Jewels on this song, even though this is a huge song, and Jewels is still kind of figuring out how to rap at that point because he's still really young. Like, oh boy, I didn't feel like Jewels really held his own on that song.
Right.
Because he was just starting.
Right.
But he's now part of a huge song because Cameron allowed it to happen.
Right. He shares the light.
He shares the light.
Right.
And that says a lot to Cameron.
Right. But then what happens later? See, this whole shit started from Cam asking, that their shit started from who knows when the shit started. You hearing shit about BMF and running on the beach, all types of shit now. But as a friend, I wouldn't have asked 50 Cent how he did that.
What do you mean?
He asked 50 Cent, how did he get Jim to come out and perform with him at a time when him and Cam was beefing?
It was Jim and Jewels, actually.
Right. That's where the shit started.
I actually interviewed Jewels about that.
Right. That's where this new chapter of Jim and Cam going at it is. It started from right there. As a friend, I wouldn't have asked. But if you don't consider a motherfucker like, I don't know, maybe your sensitivity level is way, way higher than other people's shit. And you just didn't feel like it was going to be a problem. But you know how it is, man. 50 going to sit there, he going, I pretty much moved him around like a pawn, I threw the bait out, he bit it, ha, you know what I mean? Like, really, that's the meaning. And then Jim, hearing that, and he's like, yo, you sitting there next to him, and, not considering the history that both y'all did foul shit to each other that just never looked right to all of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, which kind of made that whole lock shit inevitable. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we've never seen these niggas squabble. Like, you look at these three on stage, you're wondering. There's a question in your mind. Are these niggas good? Are they getting along? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, well, I mean, the same thing happened in G-Unit, though, if you think about it.
Yeah, G-Unit, again, yeah, I guess you could say that. But you never saw them come back together. That's the thing with 50. 50's like, once you're gone, nigga.
No, he put them back together at one point.
When?
Remember? Okay, look, like there was a whole time when Young Buck left and he was showing up in games videos and stuff like that.
And he came back? No.
Yes, they did.
Vlad,
they came back and did
happened.
another album. They came back and did another album.
That never happened.
No, it did happen.
That never happened. Never happened.
Okay, hold on.
And they did another album after that?
Absolutely.
Nope.
Absolutely. Hold on.
No. If Banks ain't around for taking a picture with Game, like, why the fuck would Buck be around? I don't believe that shit, bro. I don't believe it.
They had an album, they had a mixtape in 2000. Hold on a second.
I'm telling you, bro. That's a one consistent with 50. Once you're out, you're out. You're out. Goodbye. Have a nice life.
Hold on.
You know what I mean?
Here we go.
Yeah.
After Young Buck rejoined G-Unit, the group released The Beauty of Independence in 2014. It was their first collaborative project in 6 years.
And this was after what? What was the violation?
After Buck left. And they were talking shit after, remember 50 recorded him crying on the phone?
And then they did another one after?
And they did another album. The Beauty of Independence in 2014. I know my history.
I've never heard of that.
It wasn't a big album. Like, it wasn't a big, for 50 Cent, it wasn't a big project. But yeah, 2014, Beauty of Independence. Because at that point, they were not Interscope anymore.
50 Cent dropped a project called The Beauty of Independence?
Yes. Google it. Kid was added to the group as well during that time. I'm telling you, this is real.
I don't know, man. But
this is real.
Okay, if you say so.
And then things fell apart after that.
If you say so. But yeah. I'm still like I still feel like, you know, we don't get to see too much of the back and forth on, or you know, maybe with Young Buck Game, but okay, yeah.
You see a lot of back and forth. You see a lot of it.
But with Dipset, it's
remember
like
the whole transgender rumors with Young Buck and 50 had a field day with that. Like,
it's a lot.
50 will still go at you. 50's part of the whole Jim Jones Cameron beef. He's in the middle of that.
Maybe we had different hopes.
Yeah.
I wanted Dipset to kind of figure their shit out and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, look, Mobb Deep got back together after the falling out.
Which was crazy because the things, you know, there was some things being said on that side that I was like, I don't know if they coming back from this shit.
Well, yeah, because there was gay rumors about Prodigy in jail and stuff like that. And I remember, like, I think Havoc, like, basically said, I'm done with this dude and whatever else.
Yeah.
And they probably spent a certain amount of time waiting to get booked as solo artists and realize that, oh, we need Mobb Deep again if we want to keep making money.
I don't know. Their relationships repair each other. I think this is a situation where Cam, he doesn't need the Dipset shit.
No, he doesn't. No.
So he may be in a space where he feels like it's okay to to speak on things a certain way.
Yeah.
And yeah, Jim is just not. So
yeah, and I think a lot of times you're dealing with inflated egos, and I'm fully aware of this. You know, and like me and Nori didn't stop talking for like 5 years or something over an ego argument. An argument based only off ego.
Right.
And one day when I had to explain what the beef was over, and I'm saying it out loud, I realized how stupid I sounded explaining it.
Right.
So I reached out to Nori. I'm like, yo, let's have a conversation. You know what I mean?
Right.
And, a lot of it was based off him asking me to do Drink Champs, and I agreed to do it, but I didn't want to drink.
Yeah,
and then
I know,
that turned into,
he's not going to drink. And
the whole thing. So I said, look, man, we had a conversation.
No, it's like, no, you're going to drink, little nigga.
You're going to drink. Right. So we had the conversation, I'm like, yo, we FaceTime for the first time, and I'm like, yo, do you mind if I screen capture and post this? He's like, yeah, no, do that shit, right? And I said, look, next time in Miami, when when I'm in Miami, I'll come do your show and I'll drink. So I came to Miami a few months later.
You folded.
Well, no, because I was like, man, like, this is silly. Like,
right.
This was actually like my friend. Like, me and him actually would call each other regularly. And
right.
we would hang out and we would
right.
drink and we would party. And I'm like, I miss my friendship.
Yeah.
You know? Like, me and Nick Cannon squashed it recently. Me and him had a 2-hour conversation.
Right.
And we talked about our falling out, and we talked about what he thought I did, and I talked about what I thought he did, and it was like, man, we both realized we miss our friendships.
It's not about shit, right?
It's not about shit. It was just a bunch of everyone's going through shit, and they were over amplifying everything that was happening.
Right.
And
right.
social media was hyper amplifying it.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's like, man, who cares?
Who cares about that?
Who cares? Shit? Like, if we could restart our friendship, and if there's maybe even some business to be had along the way,
yeah,
great.
Well, I'll say this for the Cam and Jim shit. Fuck all the theatrics. Fuck all the theatrics. We, the fans, would prefer for you niggas to have a friendship, but if you're not gonna have a friendship, we'd rather not see the shit that y'all do to each other.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.